YouTubers, this is just another video for an idea of making a camera mount. Here I have an old fan. This is the motor's burnt out, so we're just going to chuck this to the dump. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove just this top section here and just use this middle part and the base. Just removing the screw part to the base of the fan. I got a feeling that this screw might actually be the right size for the bottom of the camera, but we'll find out when we get to that. Could come in handy. So that's it for this stage. So I've just removed the base off, or the fan from the base, and my idea is if I can clamp something on here and put an arm on here, I could probably use that as a camera mount in my room. What I found is with this stand and this piece of metal I've got, so this is a tent. This is like a tent pole, and it's got like the screw end on the other end, and that fits nicely. Actually, it just sleeves nicely inside that other pole there. Now if I squeeze that little button, it will slide all the way down. So I probably need to drill some holes in that and just find some way that I can raise this up and down, as well as I will have the adjustment on the old fan base, so I can raise it up and down with that too. So I'm just going to make this simple. So I've got a bending spring that fits nicely over the other end of the tent pole that goes in the top piece. So I'm going to use a bending spring to try and bend a right angle, pop that in the top, and then that will kind of just sit like a little T. It will sit out like a T once it's bent in now. Well, unfortunately the idea of trying to put the spring in there and bend it actually didn't work with this. This is actually designed for bending copper. So I guess this is some kind of mild steel. Kind of just all broken, snapped. So alright, back to the drawing board. I got another one. Just a newer one. So what I'm thinking, instead of bending it, I'll actually cut a piece off of this one, put it in there, and I got some flat bar. So with the flat bar, I will obviously on a nice end, if I just mount it like that, I can cut the flat bar kind of this size. I can drill a hole through two pieces of flat bar the same size all the way through the metal, and the same with the other end of this. I can obviously go a bit closer just to make sure there's enough room for it to miss and use less flat bar, less waste. So that is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to cut those pieces, drill the holes. So I basically cut two bits of metal. It's just around about that kind of size. I haven't given a size and measurement, I just guessed it. So I cut that like that. Two pieces of that. I've trimmed off cut the rough edge off the tubing. I've got the two pieces in here that I've cut, and I'm just drilling two holes with my bench drill. So there's the two holes that I've cut. Okay, so here's the hole in the tube, which is both sides all the way through. This piece will go in line with that piece with bracket in between with two nuts and bolts. That's the hope anyway, so we'll find out. So now what I need to do is get the calipers and to measure the inside of this tube and just make two inserts in there, like fairly solid, and just leave like a line, like an oval around here, so I can adjust, make a new part. So I'm in part design, new drawing, and I'll just look down on XY plane and make a round part. So what do we say? 17. I might go 16.5, make sure everything all fits properly. So go 16.5. Escape that. That's already constrained. So I can close that. I can pad that straight away. And we'll go 20. Let's see if I can change it to 20. 0. So that's 20. And roughly for the whole, we will go, well, if I say 10, and then I want to end the hole about 15, between 10 and 15, I'll put a line in between. So I did 2 holes, and the actual holes are, okay, so I made an insert, and I'll make 2 of those, so I can insert that, that's obviously smaller when it's in the tube, into the tube, and that will give it more, that will stop the tube crushing too much and it being loose, so when I tighten it up with the screws it should be nice and tight. That's the hope anyway, so I'll give that a go and we'll see where we're up to. Okay, so here are the parts to assemble for the overhead camera boom, we'll call it. This is the 3D printed part. It's got a space in there so that the bolt can move, and just kind of rounded one end and blanked off the other. So I've got the rounded end so I can insert that first, but I did find that maybe the tolerances on this was a little bit loose, but still it's fine, so I'm still going to go with that. Could have made it just a little bit tighter. I just went a little bit less tighter to make sure it's not too tight, and then there it's the opposite way around, and I have to, if I want to make it perfect, I can just probably bring it out 1 mil all the way around, or 1/2 mil, and make a difference in diameter, but I'll just go with that for now. I'm quite happy with that. That's been coated in a clear lacquer, that's all I had available at the moment. Just gave it a nice shine, protective coating, and a rustic look. So we'll just piece it together. So first I just inserted that piece that I made on the 3D printer, whatever we want to call that. So next I've just got to put the bracket on the outside, the screw, washer and nut, and the bracket on the other side. Okay, so that's how I've assembled it. The screw going through the one side, bracket on the other side, washer, and then nut. That's the correct order. Now noticing there's a little bit of an oval shape, that's what I was talking about the tolerances. I could have made that diameter a bit more rounder, so it has actually crushed a little bit oval, but that's still fine for what I need it for. Just got to repeat the process by putting that insert in there, and then connect that onto there. The same by sliding it in there, nut, because I've already got the brackets on there, so just nut, washer, and bolt, washer and nut. Okay, so that's it assembled for the moment. So now all I need to do is insert an Allen key on one side, and I'm going to use just an adjustable spanner, or here in Australia they call it an adjustable crescent, on this side, and I'll just tighten it up enough so I can just still move it into position, and then I can re-tighten it again. So here we are with it inserted. So now I've got to tension it up, so I can adjust this arm out and up, whichever way I want. I might, just for a bit of strength, I'm going to position that down as far as I can. Okay, so here we are. So I have got the cam mounted on the bottom, the action cam. There we go. Got the pole, bicycle type clamp that came with the action cam kit. If anyone's interested, just a cheap 5K Ultra HD action cam online. I can't remember the exact site. Maybe I can zoom into the barcode, or the QR code, shall I say. Don't know if anyone can get that, and whether it'll work on your end if you want to try and have a look. It's got a code there, so you might be able to put the code in. Okay, so here we go, following it back. the inner part of tent poles and the outer part of the tent pole, adjustable clamp, nicely fitted down into the bottom pedestal part of a fan, freestanding room fan. There we go, recycled. Just got to clean it all up, make it look nice, and we're in business.